Ammo introduces Terraform Premium Textures, a range of 11 acrylic colors with varied textures, specially formulated for the creation of realistic groundwork for any diorama or vignette. Let's compare and combine Terraform Premium Textures and the acrylic textures range for vignettes and dioramas. In the first part of this video, you will be shown the differences between the new Terraform Premium products and acrylic textures, and how each complements the other. The acrylic textures range has a lower density, which makes them easier to distribute and work into the most difficult places. In both cases, they can be applied directly from the jar using a spatula. The new Terraform Premium textures are denser and acrylic-based. In addition, the composition makes it possible to distinguish different materials, providing a strikingly realistic finish. The Terraform products are very easy to apply with the diamond-shaped spatula, which allows you to apply both thin and thick layers. Here you can see the texture on the left, which creates a uniform finish. While on the right, a more realistic result is created in which you will not need to add any extra finishing products. By applying the Terraform, you will see that you are able to control the texture and porousness by using more or less product, or you can add water to adjust the texture to any scale. You will see how to create perfect concrete texture. The texture of a bunker was simulated using the Terraform Premium Textures, Thin Concrete, and Concrete. It is essential to mix these products thoroughly until a homogeneous mixture is obtained. Using a brush, the product was applied little by little until the desired in-scale finish was complete. This process was repeated over the entire piece. After allowing the surface to dry for 24 hours, you can sand the surface with 180 grit tapered sanding sticks to refine the surface. To represent the different concrete blocks, masking tape number 2 was used. For the second phase, fine concrete was used, applied only on the joints masked previously with tape. Before the fine concrete dries, the masks were carefully removed to avoid removing all of the effect. The color and the texture is perfect. There is no need to use any other base color. After a coat of matte varnish, shadows were added to the recesses using various shader colors. To highlight the details, the entire surface was highlighted and refined using 3 colors of Dio Drybrush Paints. Creating an authentic scene in Vietnam is now easy to create with Terraform Premium Textures. In the following example, you will be shown how to use Terraform clay. We must stress the importance of mixing the product thoroughly. If necessary, water can be added until the density is correct. Using the drop-shaped large spatula, the texture was spread over the entire surface. Terraform Premium Textures allow you to work with them while they are still wet to obtain the required finish. In this case, a sponge was used on the surface. You can also add more product to increase the thickness in select areas, as it has the necessary consistency to do so. With a brush dipped in water, you can smooth out the surface if your subjects or scale require for it to be less rough. Because of the unique volume that you can achieve with the Terraform products, you can imprint all kinds of details such as vehicle tread marks or subject-specific footprints before it dries. The versatility of these textures allows modelers to easily create an infinite number of highly realistic finishes by simply adding varnishes ranging from gloss to ultra matte. Making an authentic stretch of road or blacktop has never been so easy. The next incredibly realistic surface you will be shown is the Terraform Premium Texture Asphalt, which can be used for several scales. The texture was first spread over the surface, where road was to be represented with the flat rectangle spatula from Ammo. As shown previously, the surface was stippled with a stiff brush to work the surface until it matches your references and your real-life experiences with asphalt. The Terraform Premium Texture was allowed to dry for 24 hours before using masking tape to simulate asphalt patches or to mask and paint the lines which divide lanes of traffic. Terraform Premium Textures can also be mixed with acrylic paint to slightly vary the color of the finish. The density of this product range is perfect for adding the thickness you need for any subject or purpose. In this case, a very thin layer was applied. The surface was allowed to dry for a couple of hours before the masks were removed, but they were removed before it had dried completely. Of course, the Terraform Premium Textures can be mixed with our acrylic mud range, in this case, the textured color Light Earth Ground. Again, masking tape was used to paint the lane dividing lines. As you can see, the tape does not leave any residue on these textures. Replicating the fine textures of beach sand quickly is now possible with Terraform Premium Textures. You can accurately depict a variety of different beach types using Terraform Premium Textures. This next example shows the simple application of beach sand and Pacific sand. Don't forget to stir the textures thoroughly before taking it out of the large container. Using the flat rectangle spatula, the entire surface of the base was covered. Using a flat brush dipped in water, the texture was pushed and moved into the hard-to-reach areas. The quality of these textures means that they can be diluted to the requirements of every project without worrying about losing their extraordinarily realistic properties. Again, using the spatula in water, the smooth finish typical of beach sand was created. Thanks to the fact that you can accumulate a good amount of the product, the surface can be smoothed out without accidentally removing the Terraform Premium Texture from some areas. If additional elements such as stones, trees and tree trunks, or any other accessories will be placed, it must be completed before the texture dries completely. Now, you will be shown the creation of a small river and all of its surface textures. The Terraform Premium Texture River Sand was thoroughly mixed using a metal rod. The product was then spread using the diamond-shaped spatula from Ammo. Terraform Premium does not require prior preparation of the base or the use of glue. Before it dries, you can fix any element such as stones, logs, or other accessories without using any other products. Various colors from the shader range were used to color the bottom of the river. With Dio Drybrush Paints, you can highlight both the stones and the Terraform Premium textures as well. The dynamic setting of wet sand covered roads is now possible using Terraform Premium Textures. Imitating wet sand requires the use of Terraform Premium Texture Wet Sand. Remember to mix the product thoroughly before application. Using the drop-shaped large spatula from Ammo, the product was spread directly from the jar. The wet sand has the correct density, allowing it to adapt to the surface and contours of the ground easily. Using a round-tipped brush dipped in water, grooves were imprinted into the center of the scene. The brush itself was used to finish shaping and adjusting the texture where necessary. Here you will be shown how to quickly create an in-scale line of train tracks with easily applied ballast. Our next example is ballast. Must always be mixed thoroughly before application. The product can be mixed with the drop-shaped large spatula by applying the product without covering the areas where the sleepers will be placed. Before the texture dries completely, the tracks were placed and touched up by adjusting the texture that surrounds them. Using a No. 2 Marta Kolinsky fine brush, different shades of Dio Drybrush Paints were randomly applied to the pebbles, adding natural color and tonal variation. Once the Terraform Premium texture is dry, you can apply any kind of paint or thinner on it, as in the case with this enamel-based Africa Core wash, applied to give depth by adding contrasting darkness to the recesses of the ballast. Easily create authentic sandy roads quickly using the techniques shown here. Next, we will see the Terraform Premium Road Sand. Enough emphasis cannot be placed on the importance of mixing the product thoroughly. This reference is a bit more dense so that you can easily imitate imprinted vehicle tread marks or place objects that we may find on the road. With the drop-shaped large spatula, the shapes and volumes desired were simply shaped. While the texture is fresh, you can affix any detail without using glue, while also integrating the detail into the scene. After the product has set for an hour, you can also use wheels or chains to imitate the tracks and trails worn and carved into the earth by passing vehicles. The specific boot prints of the personnel accompanying the vehicles imply time and place. A wide range of effects are made possible using Terraform Premium's wall whitewashing effect. We would like to show you a significant detail often overlooked, but is now quick and easy to accurately replicate using the Terraform Premium wall whitewashing. Once the wall was painted, some areas were masked with the flexible and reusable camouflage masking putty. This time, the product was distributed with the drop-shaped large spatula from Ammo. Here you can see that a very thin layer was applied when necessary, without affecting the final result at all. After 1 hour, remove the mask with tweezers. Thanks to the quality of the textures, it will not break or crack. It is still possible to make small corrections to the texture using a stiff brush. The range of precision pigment brushes are ideal for this task. Once completely dry, Terraform Premium Textures allow you to carve the surface without the risk of lifting or cracking. This example demonstrates how easily you can apply wall whitewashing on a brick wall to highlight the mortar within the joints. Because a more diluted product was required, water was added until the mixture blended easily into the separation between each of the bricks. The texture was first distributed with a brush, which was used to force the whitewash into every joint. Set the surface aside to dry for 5 minutes before removing the excess with a napkin dampened with water. You will see how little by little the excess will be removed while the whitewash remains in only the joints. Terraform Premium Textures can be mixed with acrylic paints to adjust the final tone. Simply add a few drops of the desired shade to the texture and mix well. The application process is as shown in the previous steps. Set the surface aside to dry for 5 minutes before removing the excess with a napkin dampened with water. Discover all of the options that the Terraform Premium line of textures offers, now available on our website, www.ammo.es. Discover many more videos on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and activate notifications. Thank you for watching.